Oh, hey, how's it going, YouTube friends? I got more Proust coming at you today, and this is the big one. Here we go. All right, so I have made it past the halfway point in the Marcel Proust Remembrance of Things Past. I have about 1,500 pages left to go, and I got to tell you, I'm starting to get really sick of it. It's just going on for too long. There's two main problems with it that I have. The first is that it's too long. I have no problem with long books. I have no problem with books that don't really have a plot. I read a lot of, like I've said before, my favorite author is Victor Hugo. He goes on these long, rambling discursions, these ridiculous tangents that go on forever, but they're so poetic and they're so beautifully written that I don't really mind. Like the first section of one of my favorite books of his, The Toilers of the Sea, is all like 100 pages about just the description of the island of Guernsey. But it's beautiful. It's all about, you know, the coast and the sea and the trees and the people, and it's great. This book has very interesting parts of it that are buried in hundreds and hundreds of pages of dinner party gossip, which I find very boring and is not poetic and is not interesting. That's one of my main problems with it. My other problem with it is that I don't like the narrator. I find the narrator to be a shallow, kind of a bad person, and I really can't sympathize with him. All of his troubles seem to be his own fault as far as I can tell, and I don't really have much sympathy for what's going on with him. So I finished the third book in the series, The Gramonte's Way, and I started the fourth, which they've translated here as Cities of the Plain. The actual title is Sodom and Gomorrah, which is a better title, I think. I don't know why they changed it to Cities of the Plain. I think maybe it's prudism, maybe it's prudishness, something like that. But Sodom and Gomorrah is a better title. It's more reflective. And in the first section of that book is one of the nuggets of really good writing, I think, and really insightful writing that you occasionally see if you can wade through all of the ridiculous dinner party gossip. And there's a whole section in there about a character in the book who's gay. And Marcel Proust himself was gay, but he was in the closet. He didn't really talk about it during his lifetime. Although, if you read this book, I don't see how you could not have figured it out, because this whole section is about this character, his experiences being gay in Paris in the late 19th century. And it's very insightful, and it's very sympathetic, and he kind of goes with great detail into the difficulties such a person would have, and you know, the feelings of shame and the inability to gratify his desires that are easy for other people to gratify. And it's a very sensitive, very well written, thoughtful piece, and I really like that part of the book. But then, you know, there's just so much fluff around it that it's hard to get past that. The other issue that I think is dealt with really well here is there's this whole Dreyfus affair I talked about last time. And you remember the character Swan, who was very prominent in the first book. He's sort of faded out of the book almost entirely, but he shows up every once in a while. And he's Jewish, and he's sort of been cast out of society because he's been defending Dreyfus, who is also Jewish. And apparently this really happened in Paris. There was this big split where the people defending the soldier Dreyfus, who was innocent, were considered to be more loyal to the Jewish people than to France. And there's this element of ugly nationalism that enters into it, and a little bit of anti-Semitism. And I think that's dealt with really sensitively, and that's really interesting as well. But again, it's all buried in this dense brick of text. So I want him to get on with it. I want him to get to the point. I want to hear more what's going to happen in terms of plot, and less of this kind of high society, just idle chit-chat. So I've got about 1,500 pages left. This is part 6 of the video. I'm going to try to make it a 10-part series and finish it off on part 10 in 4 weeks. So that's a lot of reading to do. I'll see if I can do it. I did a lot of reading this week, but I'm going to try to do that for you guys, finish off the series, and I'm really eager to move on and read something else. So I'm trying to push ahead and get through this before too much longer, because I don't want to spend my entire summer reading the same book for the entire time. So I'm going to push ahead. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to tell you how it ends. So be ready for that spoiler. It's going to come. I promise to reveal the ending of the book at the end of part 10. And I will catch you next time. I've been Logan Albright. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment in the comments, because nobody ever comments on my videos. It'd be nice to talk to some people about them.